Hello and welcome to the Video Game Dads podcast. This is episode 49.
49?
Yeah.
Woohoo.
We're three guys in a basement talk gaming, fatherhood, and everything in between. We are an amateur once a 3 weeks. We're a week late this time. Sorry about that, folks.
Running late.
Yeah, podcast. Family friendly. So you can listen to this with the kiddos around, but no promises we won't have any adult content. You can email us at videogamedads@yahoo.com. Shane, where can you Facebook us?
Facebook.com/videogamedads.
Yeah, and send us a review, tweet, email, talk about game, whatever you like.
Send us good stuff, yes.
Corrections,
Thumbs
topics
up.
to talk about, just let us know. So if you've been listening to us, hopefully this isn't your first episode. This episode is going to be a little atypical. Shane and I kind of talked about this. It's been really hard for us to get together. Our life has been on overdrive recently,
Crazy.
and it was hard to get together, and the only way we could do it is if we kind of make this a one take. What do you say, Shane? We're just gonna riff, go over some topics. We aren't gonna have a lot of our segments like our video game book club. We want to save this for a nice big episode 50 coming
50,
up.
we want to do the big bang.
Yeah, so we wanted to just create something for you guys, but sorry we weren't able to do a full episode. So we're gonna cut out the video game book club, probably our handheld holo this time. But we'll still talk about pickups. We'll still talk about gaming news, stuff that's going on with us. But it's gonna be a little bit more atypical, kind of a B-side episode, whatever you'd like to call it. I don't know. It's like anything. It's like
we still want to do the podcast, but it's like, man, we're so busy.
You've been doing jobs this weekend. I've had a lot of stuff go on, family, some family stuff with health and things like that, where people aren't doing that great. So, Adam and Michael could not make it tonight. I'm gonna try to edit this and have this out by tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're your hosts. I'm Ben. You're Shane.
Yeah. We're here.
Let's do it to it, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
man.
let's get this party.
Let's get this thing
started. So Shane, it's fall time. Leaves are coming down. You do some gutters, though.
Yeah,
right?
I do gutter cleaning and gutter guards and stuff. So it's about to get crazy.
Yeah, we don't turn into Raccoon Marios, though. That's the only thing leaf related I'm trying to think of. It's still hot. The pools are closed. It's hot out. We're in the Midwest.
I know, it's so weird because I was just asking about Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and it's coming up here pretty soon, I think, right? But it's super hot. I remember the past few years it's been colder, and right now it's super freaking hot. So I don't even think it's coming up. And
we went to the park today. We ended up going to this. It's a cider mill, Lewisburg Cider Farm. It's around here, and it's just hot outside, and there were ticks and stuff. And so we drove 30 minutes to get all the way out there, and we're thinking oh man, should we really risk it? Because Sebastian actually had he ended up getting a little infection on his hand. He got a bug bite that made his whole hand swell, and everybody at the daycare freaked out. So I work and it was something that I knew would get better. It's just those little wood chigger bites that have been happening where people get really itchy and swollen up. It just got him.
So
on
is
his
he
hand.
allergic to it then, or what?
I guess, but a lot of people are. So a lot of people the mites or whatever the heck will bite you. It'll start to kind of bubble up, and you kind of get a blister from it.
Yeah.
It's not like a tick or anything like that, but that's been something that's really been big in the Midwest. And he normally get on your leg, but he had it on his knuckle of his thumb. Man. And he's a kid, right? He's 2, so it's hard to keep it clean. It's hard to keep it covered. So you had to go on an antibiotic and all this other kind of stuff. It's such his life, but he's fine. There's no big issues there. But it being on his knuckle where he scratches it, keeping Band-Aids on, man. Band-Aids,
forget about it.
Band-Aids are a thing. I feel as a parent, you need 50 different types of Band-Aids.
Absolutely.
Because you have to cover a small little bite, a small little cut. You also have to deal with a skin knee. I will say, as much as cloth Band-Aids are the devil, you know what? They stay on there.
They do. They do
cloth
a great
Band-Aids
job.
hurt like heck to pull them off, but they stay on.
My Lucy, my youngest, she just tears into our freaking Band-Aids, man. It's insane.
Oh, she just likes to put them on.
Just put them on, and it's so if we buy a box, I have to hide them.
it.
Yeah, and we get the characters, of course, and stuff like that, and put them on the wall, put them on themselves. It's like they're like Neil Smith. It's got one on their nose, you know.
Yeah.
Remember Neil Smith, man?
Yeah, I remember Neil Smith.
Why do you put that Band-Aid on there? That's so weird. Did he bust his nose one time or something?
I think he did. Like he had like 3 sacks, so he kept it there, and that was like his trademark. And that was before they had those nose strip things that all the players were wearing to just get like more hyperoxygenated to
nobody does that anymore
better.
though.
They don't as much. It was kind of a fad. And I mean, like, how much does it help? It does help with like snoring. It opens up your little nasal passages and stuff. But Neil Smith, I actually saw him outside of a nightclub before he was traded to the Denver Broncos.
Oh man.
He was like
donkeys.
He was like he had these little buddies. It's so funny when you see like these big football players and their buddies are these short little kind of white guys that have like dark hair, and they're just like, he was holding back 2 people that were in a fight. He's like, I'm Neil Smith. I was like, okay, buddy. Like, all right, you know, it's like we were all just waiting to get in. That's back when, you know, we had to wait in line to like get in places. That sounds terrible now. Like, I know. I'm falling right in line with normal aging, where the 20s were fun. Late 20s, I still felt like I was hip, and now I don't give a care in the world. And whatever I get done, I do. I just look at kids like, why are you guys? You guys aren't doing anything. Go get a job. I just have turned into the
old man.
Yeah, everything's 10 o'clock. Man. I want to go home. I went out with a couple friends to a casino last night. One of the rare times I get out, and it was just like, that was something to do. I don't hang out with this buddy very often. I'm like, I don't care what we do. Like, we just do something. And it doesn't really matter.
Which casino did you hit? I gotta ask. I gotta get this.
We went to it's called the Isle of Debris, but it's supposed to be called the Isle of Capri.
Yeah,
but it has this. And it's so funny actually. The laws here in Missouri, you know, it took forever. It took the late 90s for us to finally get casinos. But in order to build a casino back in the day, it had to be on water.
That's so weird.
But it didn't have to have an engine, but it had to look like a boat, and it had to have a captain. Like, get this, like, part of the law was just to make it like legal.
I didn't realize that.
It had to it had to be on the water, like literal water around it, be within like 200 yards of a river, look like a boat, didn't have to have an engine, but literally had to have a captain 24/7. So for the first 3 years, they had a captain in this casino that doesn't move anywhere because laws are stupid.
Yes.
Oh, that makes so funny. No sense. Now it's changed a little bit, but there's no restaurants in this place, so it's one of the like lower tier casinos in the area.
They're just trying to get you money.
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't as dirty as I thought it would be. It's just funny. It's
such high standards for that place.
I know. I was up 70. I don't ever like gamble really, so I took $20, and you know, my buddy last time said, you know, you just have a limit. Like, if you want to say you stop at 150, you stop at 200. I just stopped at 75. And unfortunately, I got all the way up to 72.
Yeah.
And then I kept going, you know. But I hit a couple good slots, like,
nice.
But I ended up just making literally 2 cents. I got back down to the $20. I could have kept going, but I figured, like, it's fine. It was for like an hour and a half, just people watching. It was worth it.
Yeah, there's some interesting characters.
Yeah, and there was, I feel like, there were some people that maybe have other businesses that were just hanging out to try to see who they can meet, and I didn't know that was a thing. My buddy's like, yeah, she's a lady of the night. I said, oh, okay. Really? I thought she was just asking which casino or which slot machine had a hot hand or something. So,
no, there's even more ghetto casino than that. 5th Street.
7th Street.
Yeah, 7th Street. Yeah, 7th Street. Because I only lived about 8 years ago. We lived about 10 blocks away from there.
Yeah.
So we never went though, but they would always send these vouchers. So every once in a while we go, but it was like vouchers for like a hot dog or like something. It's like very ghetto. Yeah. It was almost like a house, like going into somebody's house. They had like carpet in there, but tell you the truth, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad.
They used to have where you could only take out $200 per person. And that was a law at first. And then they made it $200 a day. And then $200 an hour, and now it's to the point where you can spend as much money as you want, I guess. Yeah. But again, I just see people, they just hit the button, stay there, hang out. It's just their thing to do, I guess. But I didn't see many people like striking it rich or any like for as many people that were there.
I wonder why the Sam's, what was it?
Sam's Town.
Yeah, Sam's Town closed down because that seems like a very big place because they're in the other places, right?
I think it was too close to like Argosy and you know, you have to have a saturation point, right? Just like video games or anything else. Like there got to be too many casinos for too
that area, because there's this like triangle and the way that they were all proximity of each other and everything. I would say like they're all really pretty close. Yeah,
and it feels like a lot of people who are at the casino are like the same people always that go to a casino. Yeah. And me as an outsider, I'm like, I don't even know how any of this works. And slot machines seem confusing to me. I'm like, I'm used to, all right, 3 7s? No, this is like donkey, Conan Barbarian guy, and then a random like Japanese fish. Yeah. And all this other stuff. I'm just like, okay.
Dude, that stuff starts dinging, and then there's a mini game. All I know is you want that mini game to pop up on the screen. That's all you want. Like, that's all I'd work for, and I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I know.
So, I go like once every 3 years, man.
Yeah, I have gone twice now in the last 2-3 months. Yeah. But before that,
we got some problems.
Oh yeah, right. I lost a total of $15 or something. But before that, I go like every 3 or 4 years. It's just something to do. And the people I was with were, the funniest thing. The friend of a friend that we went with, he goes to the casinos a lot. He had a Mercedes G-Wagon. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it, but I never looked into it.
It's like a big, so it looks like it's a big square car, but they're expensive as heck. They're like $100.
It's like SUV style,
$100,000 car. Right? They're in it's like, an SUV. It's big and boxy, and it looks like one of those old Land Rovers. They're super expensive, really pricey. Oh, they're nice. It's had like suede interior. He offered to let me drive it, but I just the best part of this thing was it had these massaging seats, but they felt like they were from like a freaking space shuttle or something, because as you're driving, they start pushing and bolstering into you based on the G-forces to align your spine. Really? It sounds like it wouldn't work, but like you're sitting in the car, and then all of a sudden you're taking a turn, and as your body normally like shifts into the seat like pushes back dynamically, like it's some HD rumble or something from the Switch. And it was the craziest thing. It was like, again, this is probably $30,000-$40,000 car, maybe more. It was an AMG. I don't know. People, I have to look it up on price charting. It was a 2019 AMG G-Wagon, matte finish, all the options. It looked really swell. I like the headroom. I could like wear a baseball hat and tilt my head up. I can't do that in hardly any car.
Dude, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. Probably one of the. If
I probably would have fell asleep like right away, just like sitting in there, like driving around. I've been like done.
12 different massage settings. They had wave. They had dynamic pulse. They had like.
That's better than the massage parlor and all those things, man. Getting your feet done and whatnot.
Yeah, well, you ever frequent those places? I've never been.
I get my feet done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Got to, man. Cool. You got to take care of your feet, man. I'm on them all day, so every once in a while. Like, I need to go more just because my feet are jacked. Oh.
No, I don't think I can.
Have you ever gone before?
I can't let people touch my feet. It makes me like, it's amazing. I get all ticklish or something.
Oh, no. You get used to it, so then it just becomes amazing.
I've had a massage or two done, like one of those like nice massages where it's like you pay on Groupon or whatever, and it's like a good hour massage. But when they get down to my feet, it gets super ticklish. Like really? I have to. That's the way everything in my body not giggle like a girl, so I'm just like holding still or whatever. And
I finally got used to where that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, good.
Oh my gosh, I got like a Swedish massage over in like we're on our honeymoon, and this lady just wrecked me, and I didn't know that you could tell him to like, hey, sort of back off, and I just thought you just take it. Oh, I took it, boy. I felt black and blue on the back.
Did it feel good later, or were you done?
No, I was done. For like 2 days. Just over in like Greece. It was in Greece, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, she worked me.
The closer you get to Sweden for a Swedish massage, you watch out. It's like flying towards the sun.
This lady had some strength, man. I'm telling you. And I was just sitting there like, because you put your face down in that
the whole thing, the little donut. Thing. Yeah.
I was just sitting there. My teeth. I'm surprised I didn't bust a tooth. I was just sitting there. Oh God!
Couldn't she tell you were tense?
I guess not.
Or maybe you're just being a good
Or she just didn't care. She was just like,
you're just okay. But they normally ask you, is the pressure okay or whatever? I don't know. It's been a while since I've had
she didn't care. She never asked once. Yeah. She just
she had it for the Americans or whatever.
I guess so.
Or she just goes till she hears a squeal, and she never heard it, so she kept going harder and harder. So, dang. Well, good for you.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah. Oh, man. So one of the big things I wanted to talk about was, hey, Dreamcast.
Dreamcast.
It turned 20 years old,
20.
man.
It's about to drink.
$99.99. The Sega Dreamcast was released to the North American market, and $99.19. I was working. It stinks because I was working that day, and it was a hellacious day. Like, it just one of those days where I can't like do anything, and I wanted to send out like one tweet by the end of the day, just saying like, "Hey, here's the Dreamcast" or whatever. Nobody cares. Everybody like put out there, but the 20th anniversary, man, that's huge.
It's
on
nuts,
that
man.
on Sega's last official, not including this new Genesis Mini, but Sega's last console. And that was one of the biggest things when they pulled out of the race, and 2.5 years later they just said, "Oh, we're done with this thing.
Oh my God.
We're done with gaming consoles in general." Like that was huge. It was
Every
a huge
time I
moment.
think of the Dreamcast failing and stuff like that, it's like if they just would have had the Saturn, well, actually the 32X and the Sega CD, if they wouldn't have done those things, I think they could have dragged on the Dreamcast, and I think the Dreamcast would have done bigger and better things. But they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, if we go into a reality where, let's say, the 32X, the Sega CD, and everything, just they were different products, or the Saturn was more prolific, and then it kind of segued into the Dreamcast. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when the Dreamcast first came out, it was quite a hit.
Yeah,
right? It sold millions of copies.
It
did, I don't know, 9
For
million.
sure.
Like the first 3 months, nothing showed that it was going to end up flopping.
Yeah.
But I feel like half of the sales through the lifetime were sold in the first probably 3-4 months.
Yeah.
I forget how many. I feel like it's 12 million or something. That was I'm just shooting a number out there, but it was definitely in the teens.
Was their launch library like pretty big?
Maybe it was 9 million. Their launch library was wonderful.
It was good, right?
Known to be one of the best ever,
but
right?
Then,
you had Sonic,
but then right
you had
after
Soul
that,
Calibur.
But then right after that, it was like dead there for a while, though, right?
Yeah,
because that's what I remember. Is like I finally picked one up, and it was just dead, bare bones. And I would go to Best Buy, and it was like the same games.
Yeah, I mean, they had
weird.
such an amazing launch lineup that out of their 250 games that they had, at least North American like it's hard to find terrible games.
Yeah.
Like there are terrible games in there, but you're talking maybe 20 or 30 out of the whole set, and there's a lot of okay games.
Yeah.
And then I think by and large, if you take a library that has 1,000 games versus the 200, the percentage of good games that Dreamcast had were probably could go toe to toe with anybody.
Yeah.
That being said, I liked the Dreamcast when it had its initial first kind of post-failure renaissance, which I like the best. Like, so, the last 10 years, everybody talks about the Dreamcast. Everybody's kind of like has their own opinion on it. A lot of people forget about it. But I feel like from after 99 to 2002, there was this time from like 2002 to 2008.
Yeah.
It was just this certain group of people that knew about the Dreamcast and loved it, and I felt like we've already kind of met our like saturation of being able to talk about this thing because it is so long far gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, to be out there and only just to think that this thing was out there, released and gone within 2.5 years, where now the PlayStation 4 feels like it's been out 2.5 years.
Yeah.
But it's been out like 7 years already or something crazy.
The what?
The 2013, right?
Holy crap!
The PS4 came out in 2013, didn't it?
I think you might
so
be
we're going
right.
on 6 years.
God, I thought it's been like 3
right?
or 4 years. Man, I'm lost on time
maybe
right
it's
now.
2014.
No, you're maybe right, but even still, it just seems like it was like 2 or 3 years ago to me. Like my mind.
It's been like 5-6 years, at least
Holy
5
crap.
that the PS4's been out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
7.
nuts.
And so it's gonna, the next one's gonna be coming out next year.
Yeah.
PS5 and the whatever the new Xbox is gonna be.
It was just weird because like 360 and like PS3 just dragged on for so long compared to like other systems.
They said 10-year life cycle, and they were right.
They were definitely
right. That's when they needed to change it because the 5-year life cycle just didn't make enough money.
Yeah.
But we were lucky because we had, the Super Nintendo, we had the PlayStation come out, that whole, thing because of the merger that failed between the Nintendo.
Yeah.
But when the Dreamcast finally came out, it was a powerful little system. I still have a ton of them. I still love the heck out of it. I completed my North American set. It's been probably almost that many years, like probably 4 years ago ish.
That's nuts.
And that was fun.
I remember when you were just finishing that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was like 4 years ago now.
I think I lost like 2 years out of my life that I don't remember. Holy crap!
It flies by, man. It flies by.
That's
yeah.
nuts. Do you think the Dreamcast would have done better if it had DVD player? I mean, do you think it would have?
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think it would have killed it then.
Yeah, the VCD and what stinks, it's just so terrible, but I don't know what the word for it. It's so, I guess, ironic that the thing that brought down had also to do with the fact that they didn't have the DVD. So they didn't have the DVD, right? Because this is before DVD. That, right? And that was like a Sony proprietary. They used a G. What is it? CDG or a GD-ROM. There we go. So Sega Dreamcast uses a GD-ROM, which holds more than a traditional CD. But unfortunately, you can't have both the DVD and the GD-ROM, and that was why those drives make that big grindy noise, right? Because it goes at a different speed. It holds more data on those discs. But they ended up having an opportunity for them to use VCDs, or video CDs, which were this kind of weird format that were before DVDs, that were like really low quality, kind of MPEG, JPEGs, like. They weren't great quality, right? But there was an exploit that hackers used in order to trick the system into thinking that a burned disc was a VCD, so then they could play the games. And that's a big downfall for the Dreamcast. Now, I didn't hack it, but when I was in college, I remember going to dorms and seeing people with stacks of burned discs.
Yep.
That that just
killed it.
That killed it. That killed it. Not having the DVD, and then also the PlayStation 2 had so much hype.
Yeah.
That people were willing to wait for this crazy future system, and it ended up just being too much for Sega. I still feel like there was a place for them because Microsoft kind of floundered a bit, but they had a lot of money in their war chest, right?
Yeah.
And then the GameCube didn't do much during that system life cycle, but the PS2 was just such a juggernaut.
I know. I was a PS2 guy then because I didn't want anything to do with the Xbox because I remember playing that NFL Fever, just garbage. And then I just didn't want nothing to do with it. I didn't like the Xbox till later on, till the Halo. When I actually sat down and played Halo and gave it a chance, I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
But then PlayStation 2, man, it was nice. Just everything, there was nothing amazing, but everything was, to me, the best and easiest for it because there were so many games and just so many and the DVD thing, I mean, it was killer back then because, being how old were we? Probably 13 to 15 range.
It depends. Yeah.
12 to 15. I don't know. It was probably 12 to 15
the
range.
PS2 came out kind of basic. That came out, 2001?
Yeah.
Ish, 2000. So I was in, right? Was I in college? No, I guess I wasn't.
No, we're in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school.
It had been in high school. Dreamcast had, to me, the awesomest graphics. It just reminded me of having the home arcade at home. I mean, it was dead on, spot on. No reason to go to the arcade anymore.
The Sega Naomi is basically a lot of the Dreamcast, or I'm sorry, a lot of the Sega arcades, basically they shared a lot of hardware, and so that's why Soul Calibur for the Dreamcast technically played even better than it did in the arcade. And that never happened back in the day. It's something I mean, honestly, in the last couple of years, I haven't gone back and played it very recently. I'm waiting for there's a Kickstarter for the controller to be made more of a traditional controller, how they did with the Nintendo 64. We've talked about those, the Brawler and stuff like that. They're making that controller just like that for the Dreamcast as well.
Legit.
Yeah, I like the Dreamcast controller because I feel like anything, if you play with almost any controller, you get used to it.
Yeah.
That being said, I know the GameCube still throws me off.
Oh, really?
GameCube controller.
I like the comfort of that.
Do you?
I like the comfort of it.
I think it's just I don't play enough of it, so I don't get into it. But I just always feel like unless you're dealing with the old school, like a Master System controller, TurboGrafx, where it's it's not fit, it doesn't fit in your hand, right? It's probably PlayStation was the first to kind of start doing it, where it kind of fits in your hand better.
Yeah, it fits the best. Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, but Dreamcast, wonderful system. It would have been nice to do some sort of tribute episode to them, but they didn't quite fall on episode 50 that we can do that. But it's definitely worth mentioning. So hopefully you played your system on that 20-year anniversary. I did. I ended up playing some Power Stone that night.
Oh, did
you?
Just
to like,
I think Power Stone Original is better than Power Stone 2, man.
Oh yeah, they're both great. But
yeah, they're both great. But I mean, you just think one's better. But I like Power Stone. It's more fun.
I do like the original. I think the second one's one where the more you play it, you end up liking it a little bit better because it's a little deeper. But no, Power Stone 1's freaking great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing little title. Speaking about that, we could talk about actually, the other Sega console coming out soon. We don't have much. We've talked about it before, the Sega Mini. We've done the release. Yeah. So those that don't know, at least 4 days from now, it's supposed to be released. They finally have reviews coming out. Last month, they had kind of a soft, like, embargoed. You'd see some YouTube vids and some places like CNET talking about it, but they couldn't talk too in depth. And now reviews are actually coming out. Yeah. It's $80. We've already talked about the released game list. If you had a Genesis back in the day, if you have a loved one with a birthday coming up, and they used to like it's a pretty easy sell.
Yeah.
There's a couple of videos coming out, you were saying, Shane, that say like maybe there's some issues there. There's a little lag.
Yeah, a little lag. Issues with like sounds on certain games, but on the overall, it's looking really good.
Yeah.
But sad thing is I don't have any money right now, so I'm gonna wait to pick it up. I'm waiting till like the $50 to $60 range.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I didn't get it day one. I'll wait till it takes.
I do like that there's two controllers, but it does suck no 6-button. But
yeah, but you can get a 6-button. So.
Yeah, who puts those out? 8-bit.
Yeah, you can do 8-bit do or Retrobit. Retrobit. Nintendo. Yeah,
because it's a USB port, correct?
I believe so.
I think so. Yeah.
There's a lot. If you look at. There's a lot of reviews out there. My Life in Gaming, Corey and Try. We like those guys. They talk about it. I think we talked about it last time. Digital Foundry. If you look at that, Digital Foundry, if you like YouTube, is a great channel to have just to kind of understand all the new like changes in graphics. There's this game that came out recently that I want to play as soon as it hits a price drop. It's called Control. It's made by the makers who did Alan Wake and Quantum Break.
Okay.
So high production value, almost like the game itself is better than the actual playing the game. But I've listened to enough reviews saying that this fixes a lot of the issues with Quantum Break and Alan Wake. And have you heard about this game?
No, that's a weird thing because those are like two big titles that I've heard of and never played, but I've heard of.
So it's multi-platform. It's a AAA title. I saw this 2 E3s ago, and it's really like a super trippy X-Files kind of premise where you are someone who was like a new kind of top lead business person hired to be a part of this company that's kind of like a tech company, but you don't know much about it. It plays differently where it doesn't hold your hand of where to go. You actually have to like use a map to like get through this place, and it constantly like shapeshifts. It's kind of like Inception where you can walk into a room and all of a sudden like there's all this paranormal stuff going on, but it's not like scary paranormal.
Yeah.
But of course, that being said, there's people like floating in the air from their head, and they're kind of like taken over by this thing called, I believe it's called like the static or something, where there's definitely paranormal stuff going on.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm bringing up this game is outside of it being kind of like a third-person adventure shooter that sounds interesting, that whenever I have time to play something like that, I want to like make that a game I take time for, is the graphics on this have taken a huge leap in terms of if you have, let's say it came out for PC as well. Mm-hmm. It's, ray tracing. And it's this new technology where basically reflections and graphics go to a next level where you're not actually like you're not putting on the graphics into a reflection and having the computer figure it out. The computer actually actively in real time handles the reflections in real time to the point where you are walking down the hall, and let's say there's a monitor on the wall and it has a glass reflection, like this beer sign I have in my room. And it will, like, if you look at it, it'll actually actively reflect what's going on in the room, including all the objects and the person.
Wow.
And it's not just an object to just be there in space, and you have to activate the same kind of lighting. It'll like take the lighting of the chrome, like a chrome table. Anyway, Digital Foundry made this really cool thing. If you're ever into anything like this, check it out, because Digital Foundry Control, and they do a graphics comparison. Basically, telling you what ray tracing is and how it works, and when you put on this filter, like how realistic it is. And it's like this new huge leap that's as big as like motion capture was, right?
Oh, really?
Wow. It's really cool, and it goes really in depth. And right now, like even the PS4 Pro or the highest gaming rigs can't quite handle it completely.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
But that being said, if you have original PS4, like an old school one, right now, like it hitches a lot. And say if you don't have a Pro, to kind of skip this game until it gets patched to a point where it runs a lot better.
Yeah.
This is what I'm hearing from some reviews. But that's kind of the neat little thing that I spent some time like looking at. Again, me not being super versed in this tech, it was a really easy video to watch to kind of understand like the new changes that are coming in graphics and hardware and updates and things that'll probably be in the next iteration of video games. So it's kind of cool. Going into technical stuff, though, I had another one.
Tech?
Yeah, well, kind of. Like, things that feel over my head. I had another game night, like one of those nerd nights where you...
Nerd night.
Yeah, it's basically... it was a game night, but not like video games. It was board games. And it's just a buddy, again. I'm more like... I'll just hang out with you. You know, it's like if you're with a buddy and you decide to go bowling, even though that's never a thing that we do. But, you know, just kind of a hangout night.
Yeah.
And so they play monthly this board game called Gloomhaven. I don't know if any of our listeners, we've had a couple listeners reach out and say like, hey, do you ever talk about board games? That's just not our expertise.
Yeah.
And I will say it was a lot of fun. I went to my buddy Bob, and there was a couple other friends that kind of came over, and we ended up having a nice little game night.
Nice.
There was like 5 of us. Like a husband and wife team, and I was initially super overwhelmed because when I got there, this is like a $200 game. He had like these special like things to put the cards in, like containers that were like freaking laser cut out of yeah, it was crazy. What? And so I didn't read up on the rules, and I'm like, there's no way. This is going to be like, let's say you're playing in a freaking symphony and you bring your freaking harmonica or something. Like, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But it ended up going well. It actually played a lot like a video game, like a dungeon crawler, even though I don't play like Diablo.
Yeah.
So luckily you're all working together. It's not like you're going against each other. Mm-hmm. And so you have your own character, and what's crazy is, like, again, without getting too into it, it plays like a big epic adventure where there's all these different dungeon scenarios. Mm-hmm. There's like 500 different dungeons, and you basically kind of roll the dice and progress to the point where you're leaving a village to go to another village. And each game night you try to tackle like basically one scenario or dungeon, and you keep these rooms covered, and you're basically working through the room. And as soon as you get in the room, you flip over to see where the enemies are in the room. So it's like a turn-based battle dungeon crawler. But I totally get it. Like, it's, again, you're not playing with a screen.
Yeah.
You're not playing with, and you kind of have to play by the rules.
Do you feel like though, if you come back to it here, because say the next game night, when are you guys going to meet up again?
Yeah, like a month from now, I forget everything.
Yeah, are you going to forget everything, you think?
Yes, but what's not bad is you're playing with 3 people who know the game inside and out. Mm-hmm. So them explaining it to you, like knowing, like, I don't even know the lingo anymore, but like you basically have like buffs, you have extra like cards that you can pick that make your attacks cause more damage, or cause, if someone attacks you with something, it causes them to miss. So you basically you get like a perk when you do an attack, and then you could flip over a card, and it'll either be a miss or a -2 attack or -1 attack, and then they all have but there is an app that goes with it. So my buddy who was playing with it had an app that keeps track of everything. So it keeps track of your health, which is a lot better than using pen and paper. Yeah. So you have the app that you put in all the like enemies that are in there, and then also all their hit points. And then if you're within a certain amount of space, your hit points will do more. You have better range attack. Again, super technical game. Like, for when I got in there, I'm like, I'm just gonna kind of purposely kill myself, because when you die, you die, and then go play video games with his kids in the next room. But it ended up going for like 5 hours. It was a lot of fun. Had dinner. Yeah, it was like chill, and it's something where obviously it's a game where like if you take a break and have dinner, like nothing happens. It's a board game. So
dude, I'm the worst at
I've
some
never
board
done
games. I get so like nervous and just tense up, and just because I hate having to read stuff in front of people and then making that decision. They're like, idiot.
Well,
why'd you do that?
Yeah, but I also feel like, I don't know, it's all about the company you do, and these guys are real like chill guys.
Yeah.
And like, nobody gets bent out of shape or anything like that, and everybody's real helpful. I thought it would be kind of boring, but it wasn't. It was like fun. I don't know. It's like you're using your imagination to a degree, but it's like you still are trying to figure out how to like beat these little characters. So again, not my normal cup of tea, but I feel like I wouldn't forget everything. Like, and what's neat is they'll keep playing, but your character kind of levels up as you play through and progress. So if you miss few nights, you can just come back in because there's so many different characters,
and you just don't get left behind.
Okay. And as you progress, you can open these little boxes that they have sealed, right? He has these 12 boxes sealed that are other characters and other like types of enemies that you have, so it's really like intricate and cool. Like, anyway, it was really, really neat. Did that like a couple weeks ago. You have anything else go on with the kiddos? How are the kids doing?
Kids are doing good, man. We're back to school, so it's just crazy schedule. So like my daughter is going to the same school as Deacon, but then she has another like little daycare type of thing. So it's like all week she goes to school. Yeah. My daughter's in kindergarten now, so she's doing kindergarten and loving it, doing a great job. She even like went to lunch and got her own like card for lunch all by herself. Got her like lunch card by herself and got her food and everything. Even though I packed her lunch, she was like seeing something that she wanted on there and got everything all set up herself. She's so sweet.
I know, right? They're their own people, right? Cool.
And then Deacon's in full time in one of his schools, so man, it's just like running around like crazy. But they're all enjoying it though, so it's really cool.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
What about you? You've been.
We're just getting ready for kiddo number 2. We get down to 2 months.
2 months.
2 months. It's crazy, man.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Are you a little nervous about two kids?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. Like I've said before, like we don't have the grandparent power up available to us. A lot of people don't, but. When you go, being able to have a day or a weekend or something for wifey and I, we're going to have to be a little cute with it and just have, friends help out. But we already have, good friends that are going to come over and stay with Sebastian when we're in the hospital, and we'll just make it work. At the end of the day, we'll just have to keep taking, barometers and feelers, and a lot of people have, full-time jobs and 2 kids and not much help. But we, if we need to call on a babysitter or something, we'll just have to do that.
You'll figure it out. I mean, like everybody figures it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a lot of work.
The restart, man. Like that's a real thing, man.
Yeah.
That restart's like back to diapers,
Yeah, well, we're still in diapers, so the diapers thing doesn't bother us.
Is he still in diapers right now?
He's 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
usually boys,
they take. Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you can start whenever. I mean, you can start when they're 1.5 years, but like
maybe I thought he was out of diapers because all my kids are out of diapers now. So I'm just like have this joyish of just
and he's a big kid, so he looks like it. But like usually boys, I mean, they kind of say 3 is when you can get successful, and there's other kids who at 2 years old, boys, they can get diaper change. But what we've seen, and also through friends, is if you put too much pressure on it, they regress. Like we had some friends who had a girl that they got really close, and then things weren't working, and it started to get really stressful, and then they all kind of said, well, wait a sec, let's just dial it back a little bit and wait and not put too much stress on it. And we found out too, with having a kid come in November, any progress we would make, because he's actually been into the potty and stuff. Like he likes to, he watches other kids do it. He starts to sit down on it. He lets us know when he's going, that kind of thing. So I feel like he's interested in it, but if we start to work on it, as soon as the new kiddo comes, we're going to lose all our progress. Yeah. So we heard just wait till he's 3.
That's a very good call.
We're fine with that, and that's what I would say. We also haven't been super schooled on the best techniques yet, and we know everything's different. So we'll probably talk to you and Beth, and just talk to a lot of our friends, and then figure it out at the end of the day. Like there's sometimes it takes a long time.
Yeah. Certain kids are different. So I mean, like us, man, we got really lucky because they pretty much, we didn't push it, so it all worked out just fine. I mean, I think if you really push it on them, I think that's when you get into trouble.
Yeah, right.
To me personally.
Yeah, but, and then there's pressure, and then nighttime's a whole other ball game. Like you get through the days, and then getting through the nights. A lot of times they'll wear a night diaper or whatever, and then
that's what we had to do with Deacon. We had him wear a night diaper, and he did just fine.
Yeah,
he would go potty for a bit, and then he finally was like, "Don't want my diaper. I don't need it." Or we'd find it not full, so we're like, "All right, trying to transition." Just worked out.
yeah, it'll be cool whenever it happens, and it'll be awesome. Like you said, like when you had all your kids out of diapers, that just changes the game a lot. So,
a lot.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, just getting ready for that. It's exciting. It's gonna be fun. We got a lot of clothes, a lot of gifts. Getting the nursery ready. That's still something I got to get done. So there's a lot of time crunch of getting all that finished. But those are the big things we're doing. Yeah. Like a non-baby pickup, though. I said last episode I was going to try to take care of that Nintendo Switch deal. You know how they upgraded the system unofficially and got a better battery, better processor, I guess. But not a complete revision or anything. And I was going to do, and I ended up doing that little GameStop deal where I traded in my old Switch and ended up trading in a bunch of games that weren't worth anything to me and got like $150. So I ended up getting a new Switch for basically free. Here's the funny thing. This is parenthood. Now ask me how I like it. I've yet to take it out of the box.
I was just about to ask you.
I already bought a screen protector. I've had the thing for like 3 weeks now, and I have yet to take it out of the box because I just so that's funny. But it ended up working really well. The trade-in bonus where they give you $5 on top of all your games. Like I was just giving them like really cheap disc only PS2, PS3 games. And I was getting like $8 a piece for them for GameStop. I guess we should talk about that. GameStop officially have announced that they're closing 200 stores globally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they have like probably 1,000 stores around the world. So
they've got a ton of stores. Yeah. They got way too many stores.
So
I think that's a good thing for them. They should have done that a long time ago.
It still feels like there's a high chance they go bankrupt.
Yeah.
But there's another chance that they just really shore up. And, in our area, let's just say greater Kansas City area, there's probably like 8 to 10 going all the way to Grandview, like GameStop stores.
Probably. I would say more than that, tell you the truth.
Say at least a dozen, like within 30, 40 miles.
I always hate when they have a mall and then they have a store right next to the mall. It's like, it's such wasteful. Like, not that I want to go in the mall. I wish they would, if any of them that they would close would be the mall and then keep the store that's not in the mall. I mean, me personally, because I don't go there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any care which ones close. I feel like there are good deals to get at GameStop if you know what you're looking for, like the trade-in deals. Yep. They have Black Friday things, and also just for a lot of people, it's convenient for them to go there. Now, their business models and their practices and all this, that's a different story and different can of worms. I recently got a game. I post on Twitter. I rarely post emotional Twitter posts, but I posted of me getting a brand new game, and they notoriously will sell you a game brand new for that's opened, right?
Yeah.
And they had a great deal. They had Shadow of the Tomb Raider for PS4 for $9.99.
Nice.
Which is a great deal, new. And then it arrived and it said new on the outside in a GameStop like plastic fake. It didn't even have a cover. It was just the disc.
Case.
Yeah, it was a black, white, red case. They sold it as new, and it didn't even have the case. I was okay with it being open because I'm used to them doing that, and that was crazy. So I actually returned all the games I got from that. But I did pick up. Also, besides the Switch, is the 3DS. I've seen some people get. They also had a GameStop deal recently with their. It's like National Video Game Day or something. I never had a 3DS, and
which one did you get?
So I got.
What's it look like?
It's called the new 3DS XL. So they've made a lot of different versions of a 3DS. Like there's buying guides out there. I know Kelsey's done it before and stuff. I wasn't a DS, 3DS. I borrowed Adam's when Adam tried to get me into it once, and he gave me. It's kind of an older version of the 3DS.
Just probably the regular 3DS.
Yeah, and I really didn't like it. And I thought the 3D was kind of headache inducing, but I realized they made an XL version with a big screen because I've been getting into DS games. And they had the face tracking for the 3D, which works like amazingly well. I know this is old technology. It came out like 2014, or the new 3DS XL came out a few years ago. And now that it's getting defunct and everybody has their Switch, you can get them for a really good price.
Yeah.
I ended up getting the Galaxy version, so it's hard to tell what version you're going to get. But I would say if you're a listener and probably the best one to get would be the new 3DS XL, and it's called new with parentheses because now if you find any, they're going to be used. So trying to go to a game store and ask for a new 3DS XL that's used, good luck.
That's so weird.
Good luck with making whoever's getting their $6 an hour head explode behind the counter. You're going to have to do your own research, but it has like a little nub on the right side. There's obviously
it has a C-stick.
And certain special editions of the new 3DS, like the Galaxy version. There's a few others, but that's the one that has the head tracking and a lot of quality of life improvements. And you can get a new 3DS XL like on eBay in good shape for like maybe $70, $75.
$70. You could get Gaggle games for probably, probably 110, with a pile of games.
And there's not a ton of games that are amazing on the system, like anything. They always try to say hidden gems this, but like I ended up trying to just get like all the Zeldas, and they have a lot of them for $20 or less.
I know that library is a good price point too. Like those first party games, man. It's totally the time if you're gonna get one. Probably right about now. I think here in about like 6 to
9 months,
it's going to be really dirt cheap.
Yeah,
especially when the Switch Lite comes out. I think then people are really going to forget about it. So
so I'll look at my app to see what I picked up. But a new 3DS XL, and they remade Ocarina of Time, and then Majora's Mask.
One of those Zeldas for dirt cheap at Five Below, right? Didn't you?
They had one of those at Five Below.
But that was a DS game, so
no, it was 3DS.
No, was it 3DS?
Yeah, it was 3DS. I've been just using my codes for the GameStop points and rewards, so I've been getting it just for dirt cheap, like Super Mario 3D Land, Star Fox 64 had a 3D game, and they're all like $12, and they're not expensive. Super Street Fighter 3D. Again, the 3DS thing, I feel like it's not great until you get the one with the face tracking. And as soon as you have the face tracking, it actively moves the three. It's kind of the technology, even though it's 5 years old, it's really good.
No, it's solid, man.
I found Shovel Knight. It really shows what's behind the desk because they opened up their thing and they had Shovel Knight for the 3DS, and it was super cheap too. But a game that I played the most was actually Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS. So that game is super cheap. Like you get used for $10. It's a long game.
Yeah.
I started playing it. It's like a fun family game to play. And now that the new Luigi's Mansion's coming out for the Switch, I think the release date is Halloween. I always thought of this as a kid game. I knew it came out for GameCube. I know, I think Adam's talked about it before. It just screamed like Pokemon to me, which is always just, this is for the younger brother. No. But Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS is a challenging game.
Yeah.
It's the production value is really good. The music is good. The room layout, it's kind of like a really kind of good, not super violent like Resident Evil. Like the way it plays, and when you kind of have to find puzzles inside the room and little areas to find little tricks and traps, like and it's long. I played it for already a few hours late at night, and I realized I got like 1/12 through the whole game. I'll eat crow. I was always thinking that I would never like the 3DS, and I really like it. There's still a few games I want to get, but I'm not going to go crazy going through the library.
No, I think you got time for it to, take your time, slow roll that library, because they're only going to get cheaper here. But then it'll hit that spike and it'll go up.
Yeah. So the rest of my pickups recently would be Owlboy was really cheap for the PS4. I've heard good things. I went ahead and picked that up as well.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good, man.
Yeah, I was at a thrift store and we were getting clothes. I ended up getting The Suffering and Soul Calibur 2 for both like Xbox.
Oh, The Suffering's so good, man.
Yeah, that was an old kind of survival horror game. You're talking really, really old. That
third person.
Yeah, there's a lot through that. Metal Slug Anthology for the PSP. I picked that one up for pretty cheap.
Nice.
A couple PSP games. Arctic Edge Motorstorm. It's the only time they ever came out with that for PSP. Here's one that's not a title that, if you're trying to find, a lot of our listeners like find games that we suggest, through our Handheld All in Video Game Book Club. Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 for the PlayStation Wii is its own game, right? You know how a lot of times things are ported to the Wii and the PS3 and whatever. And Star Wars: The Force Unleashed were two kind of action games where you use a lot of like, they're pretty good titles. They're not going to blow you out of the water, but the Wii port is actually rated a whole lot better than the stronger counterparts, where it's constantly rated at like a 9 out of 10, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you never get that often with the Wii ports.
yeah, where the Wii port is actually superior. But Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, specifically the second one, it doesn't overuse the motion waggle. It's a licensed game, and it's one of those that is really, really up there. And then another game you've probably heard of because you love your fishing games that I picked up on a whim. It's called Finny the Fish and the Seven Waters for the PS2.
Heard of that. Wow, never heard of that.
So this title, you never seen this? I'm going to show you the cover.
Let me see cover. Oh, I have. Yeah, I have it on Xbox.
Oh, you do? Yep. I didn't know it came out on Xbox.
Yep, it's got an Xbox release.
Yeah, it's a Natsumi game, and it's basically a fishing game where you take the perspective from the fish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're not trying to like fish. You're trying to literally like level up, and it's kind of like a kid's game, but I never heard of it before.
I like the cover art on it. It was such kitty, and then it was a bass, and I was like, sold.
And not an expensive game. It's like a $6 game, but you can find it anywhere. But called Finny the Fish and the Seven Wonders. I never heard of it before, and I started checking it out, and it's like pretty fun, pretty decent game.
Nice.
So, and then a big pickup was I picked up a PlayStation Neon. You know how like advertising and all that kind of stuff. I went to Vintage Stock and they had this sign up, and it was basically an old school PS1 Neon. It's probably 2.5 feet long, maybe 10 inches tall, maybe a foot tall. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say 10. Yep.
Yeah, and it has a little PlayStation sign on the left, and they had it up there, and they have this sale where they have any of their, it's labeled under toys, or 33% off. Mm-hmm. And they had it up there for a really high price, but the manager was there. He gave me a crazy, like initially like $400, which is about what it would go for.
Yeah, not terrible.
But he ended up, I basically got it for half price. I could not turn that down. And so I'll shout him out. The Vintage Stock over on Metcalf in Kansas. You know, they'll work with you. The manager there, I've known him for a while, and they went through the weekend, and he wouldn't kind of budge on the price.
Yeah.
It was fine. We were like $50 off, and I just didn't, it was one of those like, it looked really good, and I turned it on, but it works perfectly. How old is this Neon? If this came out when the PlayStation came out, it's almost 20 years old or something like that. Or no, wait, OG PlayStation came out in 96, so you're talking it's well over 20 years old. But these kind of things just don't pop up. And if you were to find a Nintendo Game Boy Neon, a regular Nintendo, those things go for like $1,200 or something crazy.
When you see something like this, like you have to just pick it up. Like just get it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm glad you're able to haggle and stuff like that, because $400. I mean, I would never picked it up at 400, but man, waiting on that and having the patience. Good job.
Having him. Nice. Well, I didn't. He just put it up, right? So he only had it a week, and he said if it goes through 2 sales, I'll cut the price. And my brain's just thinking, all you need is one person who knows what this is to come in the store and just pick it up. And so I came in the following Monday, and he kind of wasn't there, and I kind of told him like, hey, if you want to give it to me for this, I'll just buy. And he gave me the price of the sale, even though after the sale was gone.
Yeah.
And help me kind of pack it up. And of course, bringing it home when you take a Neon in your car. Neons are very like fragile and stuff. And I was cleaning it and everything. But anyway, I posted on our Facebook. If check it out, that and that other Mortal Kombat sign I've talked before by a local friend and listener that we have here. The
librarian.
The librarian. The Mortal Kombat, like Prepare Yourself, the original kind of banner. It was a really cool pickup. Yeah,
awesome, man.
So I can't wait to kind of put these up in official places. But yeah, it was fun to pick up that Neon.
I have one of those PlayStation signs too. Yeah, I got one also.
Oh, you got the same one?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I think mine's a little bit different. It doesn't have like the square PlayStation that says PlayStation across it, but it's an official one though too.
Cool. Yep. You don't? Yeah, the little logo on the left.
Yeah, it doesn't have the logo on the left from what I remember.
But same size.
Same size.
Awesome.
Same like little like a plastic casing around it and everything to protect it, sort of.
Yeah. Where'd you pick yours up from?
Craigslist. I got it at Craigslist about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked bringing it home because luckily our van was clean, because this is when we had a van, and I put it in back there, and it's like, oh my gosh, please tip over and like bust because I will never fix this because I'm procrastinate everything.
Oh yeah, I know. I was saying too, and the guy was nice too. He said, if there's an issue with it, or like let's say you take it home, it doesn't turn on, I can do a deal with you, or like give you more of a discount based on how much it would cost to repair.
Vintage Stock's really good about that. I picked up a Rob the Robot one time, and luckily I took a picture of it because I said, "Does it work? Is it complete?" And I took a picture of it, and I just graduated from like a trade school, and I talked my wife into buying, and I paid way too much just because I wanted to spend money because I just graduated. And I took a picture of it, and then he didn't have one of his little claws.
Oh, okay.
And then I called and told them that, and they hooked it up. They're like, "We'll order it for you." So they ordered me like the piece and sent it to my house because I was all the way up in like North Kansas City.
Right.
So yeah, they sent it to you. So yeah, Vintage Stock does a good job on that.
Yeah,
for sure, man.
They'll definitely work with you.
Yeah.
I feel like those are my big pickups, which aren't a lot nowadays, right? Because if anything, I got to move stuff around. Expect maybe a game room tour on the YouTube pretty soon. It won't be perfect, we always wait on those, but your game room will never be perfect.
Never.
Kelsey Lewin, she has a great game room tour.
I still need to check that out.
Yeah, and I like it because it's 15 minutes long. She goes through everything, but she just picks out some random titles she wants to talk about, and then she'll show this big closet full of games, and it's very imperfect. And I feel like anytime you see a room tour, you strive to make it look as awesome as possible. But
you always know there's that room, though, of like just crap and stuff somewhere.
I'm not going to have everything in there. And at the end of the day, it's just, I'll put something up because I've got to take it down to put in the new room. But anything you've picked up recently, Shane? I
haven't picked up too much recently. I did land a Craigslist score. It was Atari 7200.
Yeah.
And it was or 7800, sorry. I'm losing my mind. But it was 72 games. Mm-hmm. Most of them were 2600 games, and the rest were the 7800. And boy, the 7800 games, talk about some gems, man. Really? I was really happy about it. Like, I don't know much about 7800. I had one. I had one, and then I traded it off for something else. And I'm really happy to have it back now because I have like the creme de la creme of the games for it. So some of the games in the bundle, let me see. Crossbow, Aces of Ace, Real Sports Baseball, Jinx, Asteroids, 101 Basketball, Ninja Golf. I've seen videos of this, and I always thought it was interesting and looked great. Oh man, I'm so happy to have. Still having a chance to play it, of course. Go figure.
Yeah.
But Ninja Golf, man, so jacked about that. That one's really hard to get, and it actually looks really good.
And not to, I'm cutting you off. I would say the arcade 1-up Ninja Turtles. Didn't we get that as a pickup?
Gosh, yeah. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get it?
Nope, I didn't get on it.
You were the one that told us about it.
I told you about it, but then I tried to go and it didn't.
It didn't go.
Yeah, my card didn't go through. I know. I'm so bummed. Just like. I'll figure it out though.
So Walmart had a pre-order. Yeah, it'll be out. Walmart had a pre-order for the Ninja Turtles Arcade 1-up, which I'm still trying to get rid of my red tent. I haven't tried again since then, but that pre-order came and went, and
it went fast.
Lasted maybe an hour. So I know Adam and I at least were able to grab it.
Have they always gone that fast for the 1-up arcades?
Yeah.
Do they go that fast usually?
Because here's Walmart's really silly because they don't really announce before they do it. Too. So if this would have been other retailers, but it's a Walmart exclusive, at least initially. It'll probably go other places. Right now in Costco, if you're a Costco shopper, there is a deal going on right now.
Yeah, whatchamacallit put out a video on that. 1-up toy, or what's his name?
Toy.
Cool Toy.
Yeah. We saw him at the Missouri Game Con, so shout out to him. He always has nice 1-up arcade videos. And he said that there's a Costco deal going with a lighted marquee. You get Mortal Kombat. You get a stool. You get a riser and riser graphics, all for basically
$350.
They're $399.
Something like that.
$50 more, and you get like $250
all that stuff.
Versus.
That's legit.
Yeah, I mean, if I would have waited, I totally would have grabbed that. But and that's the Mortal Kombat cab and also the Pac-Man cab. But anyway, sorry. So what else did you get besides your Atari?
No, you're okay. So I got the system with all these games, but I'll finish up the list on the 7800. Commando. looks freaking awesome too. Akari Warriors looks freaking awesome.
Really?
I mean, like it reminds me of Nintendo. Like I've never really even played on the 7800, so I'm like jacked to have like these good games.
Yeah, 7800 is definitely low on the list of.
I know that's what it was for me. Yeah, that's where it was for me. And then I started like looking at videos on all these, and I'm like, dude, this is sort of like borderline Nintendo, like graphics and plays well.
Come over to your house and play it because I do not play 7800. Hey, there's no way for
golf in your life.
Okay.
But then I also got one of the games in the bundle, Defender 2 for the 2600. It was a sealed game. Granted, Atari games a lot of times are there's a lot of sealed games, but it was still cool. And then Desert Falcon, that was pretty cool. It's in the box, but that was only box games. But there were some pretty decent ones like Dig Dug, Millipede, Battlezone. Let me see, Miss Pac-Man. I mean, there was some Mousetrap, Galaga, some good games. So I was really happy. It was $75 originally.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, ooh, yeah. And then he was like, I got some better offers. And I'm like, he's like, if you give me $100, I'll come to you. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So it's totally worth it. So, and it had a crap ton of controllers and good ones too. I don't know much about Atari, but they were like, I don't know if they're like off-brand, but they're better than the ones that you could use for theirs. So like the Mach 1 or whatever, I don't even know. Okay. But yeah, they look good. So
yeah, you kind of you like getting like random systems here too. Any other like recent Genesis pickups? I know that's one of your favorite.
Nothing? I haven't got any Genesis.
If anything, you kind of unloaded some of the stuff you don't play.
Yeah, I unloaded some of the stuff, and then I recently like posted stuff on Craigslist and Facebook. So I've worked all day, and I posted like last night. I was up till like 4:00. And oh my God, I've got like 33 messages. So sorry if you listen to this and you try to message me. Like it's stacked right now. So when I get home, I'm going to just pile through those and say, sorry, I've been at work.
I realized listening back to our last episode where we talked about GameCon, we didn't talk about a lot of the stuff we sold necessarily, but we just said we sold a lot. And I'm now getting to the point where I forgot everything I sold, but there was a lot of like cool, random little stuff and toys and like that Nintendo 64 camera that I had.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
is there anything that you missed, like that you sold at GameCon?
That's
the thing
question.
that sort of like hit me. Is
no
like
regrets.
Nothing. And it's weird going through all my stuff that I still have, and I'm like, I didn't even really notice it was gone. Like, because I sort of consider it gone when it's not on the shelf, like able to look at it. Like I lose heart for it, so then it just goes over there. Don't care anymore, so it could be gone.
So if any of you out there are kind of thinking about selling stuff at a convention, if you have the opportunity, I mean, no regrets here. And a lot of times there's a lot of, if you get rid of something, but if you're getting rid of something to do something else, or you can't take away it, it's a lot. It depends on your collection, but it's kind of fun getting rid of stuff, and also having other people have, like, out of everybody who came up to our booth, at least for me, because we were so busy. Selling things, there was only maybe a couple people that maybe, like, one guy came up. I don't know who he is. I'm not going to describe what he looks like, but I've seen him at the cons before. But he came up and asked. I had a sealed like limited run game in the plastic with the card and all this stuff, and I was just asking basically what I bought for it, like 30.
Yeah.
And he like looked at it and was like, can it was early in the con, wanted me to do less, and I was like, well, probably not, and like maybe the best to do is $2 off, and he kind of scoffed at it, and kind of like, oh, like he was thinking he was going to get it for what, 20 or 15. I'm like, dude, I don't.
He rolled back around, didn't he?
Outside of that, no, and outside of that one experience, all the other experiences were really good. People usually gave good offers. I gave, I think we all gave a lot of deals.
Yeah.
But you still have that one person that sticks out where they wanted some sort of crazy deal. Like I get, like, you come to a convention, you might find gold, but like really, getting 20% off what you pay in other places, and there's always going to be sellers who sell stuff for more for whatever reason. I don't know why they do that. Maybe they get people biting on it.
I don't know either,
I don't know.
Man. That's weird.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times cons, people's stuff is like above eBay, and it's like, how are you gonna try to get this from? I guess because you're physically there and you could like look at it, know exactly what's going on with it, open it up. I guess maybe you get a little bit of extra money for that.
Yeah, but if I went to fire sale like my whole collection or something like that, like you just make a whole lot of money over that weekend. Even though it's only a day and it's no game con, but you can go to other cons and things like that. But
I can only imagine like 2 days of doing that, man. I'd be worn out.
Yeah, you definitely would be worn out. That's why you did it great because you had Beth helping out.
Yeah.
But anyway, we already talked about the con last time. I was just kind of bringing it up again because it was a lot of fun. Overall, awesome experience. Again, this is a unplugged episode this time. It's we apologies again. We will talk about Samurai Western for the PS2, our video game book club pick from last time, and Dante's Inferno for the PS3. Our next episode is going to be episode 50, so we really hope to have a really nice episode put together for y'all.
Fireworks, that you guys won't see.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But just so again, so we could put something out there.
Yeah.
This one just had to kind of be shooting at the hip with Shane and Ben.
Yeah,
shooting at whatever.
I feel sorry for you right now because I probably smell. I mean,
no, you don't smell it. You're far enough away too. You're 4 feet away.
I literally woke up at 8:00, didn't take a shower, just had to go to work,
dude,
and
this
then
is life, man.
As soon as I got here, I was like brushing off like wood chips off of me and like stuff, man. So, but I wanted to do the episode.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, for this many weeks, so we've been about 3-4 weeks since our last episode.
Yeah.
I haven't had much chance to play anything. You haven't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up that sign. I've, like I said, a lot of personal life stuff go on. Family. My mom's not in great health right now, so that's obviously taken the front run, and it's just the way it goes. But when I did play something, because video games are great therapy, Rocket League. I've talked about it before, but they have this new thing where they're going to get rid of their like loot boxes. Rocket League is that car soccer fun game. It's been out like 4 years now, over 4 years.
You're really good at
years.
it. I suck at it.
Well, they have this new system where every 3 months they come out with this like tier where you play a game and you get a certain amount of points at the end, like experience points, and every 10,000 experience points, you get up a level, and then you can unlock another item.
Oh, nice.
And so the way they make their money is you pay $20 for that 3 months. You get like this accelerated perk system. So otherwise, every 10 levels you get one item, or if you spend $20. You get like things like cars, rocket trails, all this kind of stuff, and it's really fun to unlock these things.
Nice.
And it's made me like jump back into it because you can just have, you get a lot for your $20.
Yeah, especially if you're playing it,
Yeah. And again, I would just say if you just end up playing it maybe 3-4 hours a week, total, then that makes it worth it. And that's what I'm going to kind of try to go for because I don't have time to get into a big, awesome, epic game or start up something new.
Yeah.
At least right now because we're prepping for kiddo, and then there might be a lull, but with life and everything, Rocket League's been great to just jump into late at night. I'll play it from like 10 to 11:30 at night or something after kid goes to bed, and that's kind of my time to unwind, and it's a little self-therapeutic. What were you going to say?
Are you playing on PS4 or are you playing on Switch?
No, PS4.
PS4
for sure. It's funny. I rarely trade back games, but I traded back in for Switch. It just doesn't feel as good. It's great.
Well, if you started on it, I could definitely understand.
If you only have a Switch, it's great.
I think that's what I fall in trouble with on some games like the Xbox, Xbox 360. I started on the Xbox. Just sometimes I want to just play it on the Xbox, certain games. I don't know what it is. I just got to.
Yeah, definitely.
This feels better.
Yes. I just happened to start it out on the PS3 because they made it free, right? That's how they did it. They made it free for PlayStation Plus, and that's why I've been fine. Always like buying little packs. Like I got the Ghostbusters pack, and when I score a goal, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man pops out. It's just
awesome.
That's
so cool.
Yeah, man. It's just freaking great. But I randomly got into a shoot. I can't remember which one it is, but I randomly got into another shooter for the it's for the Dreamcast. Was it Mars Matrix?
Yeah.
I started playing that randomly. That was another great freaking game. Just something you could play really, really quickly. I still never ended up getting into Red Dead. That game that we talked about earlier, Control, sounds awesome. If you've played it, let us know. Like, definitely send us an email. Also, again, sorry, we won't get into emails or reviews. This episode, we'll save it for next episode. It'll roll in. just because, like I said, I'm going to edit this tonight after we kind of get through talking about what we've done. So I figured we talked about that. We didn't talk about Nintendo Direct. They released some Super Nintendo games for the Switch. There's not much to talk about that.
Yeah. Good pile of games.
Yeah, good pile of games.
I don't know all of them, but yeah, it looked like great.
Yeah, with their free service. Sounds like also they're not going to release games every month anymore. They changed their
they changed
monthly system or whatever. But
I tried to trick my son in saying I got him some new games, and it was like signed into the Super Nintendo thing. I was like, click through there, buddy. There's some new games for you. I bought those all for you.
And did he fall for it?
No.
Darn.
No, he's just like, it's a service. Like I could do that. I don't think he could understand that the difference between the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. So he's just like, whatever. I got a pile of games, whatever.
Yeah. How old is he now? 4?
Yeah.
He's 4. Yeah. Gosh, yeah. My kiddo still is not into screens. He still doesn't.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is.
My kid is like obsessed with the Switch. Like loves it.
That's cool.
Loves it. And he actually kissed it the other day. I was like, what are you doing? Gave it a kiss. He wants to take it everywhere. Like we go to school, I'm like, no, you're not taking it. And I don't usually let him take it in the car unless it's like hectic day. And it's like, okay, I don't care. Yeah. But now he loves that dang thing.
Yeah, well, the new Switch Lite will evidently getting really good reviews. You said you're going to get that for Lexi.
Yeah, I got that for Lexi.
Good.
A late birthday present for her. Good. So I did all my trade credit towards that.
But you're also, it doesn't hold up very well with kids, right? The Switch, the controllers.
Oh my gosh,
the Joy-Cons.
Man.
Well, you were talking about that last night.
Through 4 sets of Joy-Cons.
4 sets. So that's like
4
8.
freaking sets, man.
That's expensive, man.
I know. I don't know what it is. We're at the point now. He does a great job of like cleaning his hands and not like he's not bad. He's never been really bad with it, but it's just like, so I made him start cleaning his hands and make sure that it wasn't like junk getting in there. And he does a great job, and they're still breaking down.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like click-clacking the buttons and doing crazy on that.
Throwing them across the room.
No, he's not doing none of that, man. He's respectful with the thing and does a great job. I mean,
just doesn't hold up.
It just doesn't hold up. It's a weird deal, man.
That's too bad, but it sounds like the Switch Lite might fix a lot of that for people getting into it.
I got the warranty on that, the extra warranty, which is probably a sham through GameStop, but I had to get it because it's like, breaks down. I could just take it to them and switch it out one time,
That's cool. That's cool. I got nothing else on tap. Just helping get ready for the kiddo, and then also I'm going to see it. This is with my niece.
Nice.
Okay, so I couldn't find anybody to see it 2 with, and I was just going to be like one of those people, like I'm just going to go to a movie by myself. The first one yet. I hear, going to a movie by myself sounds fine, even though I might be scared about it. The first It's really good.
Yeah, I've heard
Turns
that.
out my niece, and she's like a freshman in high school, she was like, yeah, the first movie didn't scare me. I'll go. I was like, heck yeah.
All right.
At first I'm like, is this child abuse taking you to see this scary movie of this clown that consumes
it looks
the
good,
youngers, not to scare anybody, but yeah, it's something that'll give you nightmares. But she said, yeah, she'll watch it because she doesn't get scared for movies. She watched the first one in the middle of the night at a sleepover. She was like, yeah, it didn't faze me at all.
When's that come out?
It came out last week.
So you're getting ready to go.
It's getting really good reviews. They're actually going to go Tuesday. So 2 days from now, we'll do a little, because AMC does like $5 Tuesdays or something like that. So that'll be a fun thing to do with the niece.
What are you guys doing for Halloween?
We're going to do our normal party. Our brother-in-law has this All Hallows Eve big party.
Nice,
if you're ever free to go to, you should. We weren't able to go last year. We had this silly thing that came up with Sebastian, unfortunately, so we weren't able to go for the first time in many, many years. We're going to dress up as Winnie the Pooh characters. He's going to be a bee. My wife's going to be Winnie the Pooh with her her pregnant belly. And awesome. I'm going to be Christopher Robin. We're just gonna do that. I don't know how or why we decided to do that, but that's gonna be our costumes. We were the Incredibles last year, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I think we did that last year too.
Yeah. What about you? Do you know what you're gonna be?
I have no clue what I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna make up something.
We still have some time. Like next episode 50, we're gonna still have before Halloween, so we can.
Will it still be before Halloween?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I guess
we're 6 weeks away from Halloween now, so we got some time. We could talk about that scary stuff before. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Sorry this isn't our normal 2-hour plus episode, and a lot of our segments are gone. We just wanted to kind of crank something out for you. Yeah. We will be back to our regularly scheduled program for episode 50. Like I said, again, a lot of our segments and stuff, we just had a lot go on. So sorry if this was a little atypical, unplugged episode, but hopefully you won't grill us too hard. We just wanted to crank something out.
Yeah, get you something out there.
And then hopefully all four of us can make the next episode. We might even be in new digs. We've been waiting for this.
Maybe Adam might have it.
Yeah, Adam has a studio we're trying to create, so it might be a new place. So yeah, in the meantime, please send us our emails. We'll totally get to it. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program with our fun little sponsor, non-sponsors, and our video game book club, Handheld Holla. Yeah. We weren't able to get through any of that this time, but next time for sure we will. Feel free to email us at videogamedads@yahoo.com or send us a Facebook, facebook.com/videogamedads. Thank you for listening, as always. Anyway, feel free to give us a shout out and send us an email. Big episode 50 coming up.
Fireworks.
Yeah, for next time.
$1 million giveaway. Yeah. Is that coming?
Yeah, we are
at 50. Yeah,
just like Advent Rising for the original Xbox.
I think Michael said he was going to pay for it. So
yep, Michael.
Checks in the mail for next episode.
Michael's going to bring it out. I think Adam is going to just hand you the keys to his house.
Yep, that's happening.
Yep.
They're the only two giving away stuff, so yeah, not us two.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again. Hopefully, we'll see you back in about 3 weeks' time. As always, appreciate it. Take care.
Later.
Episode 49 is
in the books.